us at crawlpros.com.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Seattle. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Seattle. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text LEARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's LEARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text LEARN to 26022.
Roof now, pay later. No payments until 2027. Zero down, zero payments, and zero interest for up to 24 months. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors here. Since 1968, we've helped homeowners just like you get beautiful, durable roofs without breaking the bank. Book today and lock in summer pricing before it's too late. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. A federal judge says Planned Parenthood must continue to be reimbursed for Medicaid funding as the Trump administration pushes to defund it. CBS's Christopher Cruz.
The judge in the case, Indira Talwani in Boston, granted Planned Parenthood a permanent injunction blocking the government from cutting Medicaid payments to Planned Parenthood clinics that don't provide abortion care. Today's order replaces a preliminary injunction she granted last week. Under the ruling, patients can continue to use Medicaid for non-abortion related services like birth control and cancer screenings at Planned Parenthood health centers, and those centers can continue to be reimbursed by Medicaid for the services provided.
In Scotland, President Trump said today he's cutting the 50-day deadline he gave Russia's Vladimir Putin to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine.
I'd say 10 to 12 days. I'll announce it probably tonight or tomorrow, but there's no reason to wait. If you know what the answer is going to be, why wait?
And the president called on Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu to get food into Gaza. CBS's Elizabeth Palmer says Israel has agreed to limit some military action.
The shift came after images of hungry Gazans and malnourished children shocked the world and prompted an international outcry. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu denied that there was starvation in Gaza. President Trump was asked about those comments, and here's what he said.
Based on television, I would say not particularly, because those children look very hungry.
Today, more aid trucks are on the move as international agencies gear up to feed the hungry and, by now, the desperate.
Well, President Trump has hailed a new trade deal with the European Union. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says attention now shifts to a new round of trade talks between the U.S. and China.
I'm really interested to see if China is able to commit, like the EU and Japan, investment into the U.S. That has sort of been a hallmark of these deals that the U.S. has done with these different countries. And that is something where there isn't as much leverage that the U.S. has with China.
American Airlines says a flight that had trouble in Denver had tires blow out during the takeoff roll. Passengers got off the plane on emergency slides. It's another week of dangerous heat in some spots. 182 million people are under heat alerts. Meteorologist Craig Allen.
We are talking about nearly 200 million people under some type of heat alert right through today, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And in fact, this heat could last through the entire week down across the southeast states.
And checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is up 27 points. The S&P is up 5. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
A manhunt is underway in Seattle's Northgate neighborhood. Details coming up. But first, from the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, The B2 entrance of the Northgate Transit Center is closed because of that shooting investigation. More coming up. The crash has been cleared from the I-90 bridge westbound. You're still jammed up over Mercer Island. Travel time Bellevue to Seattle 30 minutes, 15 longer than usual. A reminder, 2 lanes are closed for construction on I-5 northbound near the Ship Canal Bridge. Express lanes remain open northbound, putting pressure on your southbound commute. So travel time Linwood to Seattle is 1 hour, about 20 minutes longer than usual. Alderwood to South Center, 81 minutes, 22 longer than typical. Traffic brought to you by KIRO Newsradio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. A search is underway for a gunman after a man was shot in the head in the Northgate area of Seattle this morning. KIRO News Radio's Scott Carty joins us live from the scene. Scott?
Heather, I'm at the lower south entrance of the Northgate Transit Center. Right outside, you can see where the shooting took place, and I'm as close as I can possibly get, just about 10 yards away from it. You can see that there are medical supplies and rubber gloves scattered. That is from the emergency medical response on the scene. Very little blood. There's also a backpack, and I can see what appears to be an Orca card on the lanyard. All we know is that one person was shot. They've been transported and are being treated at a local hospital, most likely. I have overheard Metro Security say that they're reviewing footage, and I did hear one person say that he drove away. So apparently the suspect either is on foot or maybe got away by car. We're first on the scene and live. I'm Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Scott. Family and friends of 2 women fatally shot in Renton this month held a vigil, telling KIRO 7 TV.
We're still in shock. Never in my wildest thoughts I would ever think like this could ever would have happened.
We're trying to be strong as a family and be here for each other in this situation and do what we can to honor their life.
The suspect, who had been in a romantic relationship with one of the victims, is being held on $10 million bail. Family members of a missing young Arlington man are stepping up efforts to find him. More from KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss.
Jonathan Huang is autistic and has been missing since March 30th when he vanished from his family's home. They're now organizing 2 advocacy events to raise awareness about Jonathan's disappearance. Starting this week, the coffee stand in Kirkland will hand out 500 coffee sleeves featuring Jonathan's photo and details about his case. Then on August 2nd, from 11 in the morning to 1 p.m., there will be a honk and wave event at the corner of Broadway and Hewitt in Everett.
People who encounter Jonathan may not know that his family's desperately searching for him, so we put his photo up at mynorthwest.com. If you see him, call 911. What a celebration in Cooperstown as Mariners legend Ichiro Suzuki was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Congestion and dangerous conditions also make it difficult.
I have been in love with Seattle and the Mariners ever since. Thank you, Seattle.
Ichiro became Major League Baseball's first Japanese-born player when he was signed by the M's. He joins Ken Griffey Jr. and Edgar Martinez as the only Mariners in the Baseball Hall of Fame. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Partly sunny skies today with highs around 80. It is 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio App. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the Gee and Ursula Show with G. Scott and Ursula Reutin.
Good morning, everybody. It is the Gee and Ursula Show. Happy Monday, July 28th?
Like, summer's flying.
Now, Ursula, when I say that date, July 28th, what goes through your mind?
It makes me panic just a little bit because I love summer and I never want it to end. And it feels like I'm already seeing a few little signs, even though we are going to be in the 80s again today.
Yeah.
So if you're like me, no need to feel anxiety about it. Just enjoy it day to day.
So I'll tell you why, and we've had this conversation. What's the perfect weather, Ursula? Where are you?
I'm 80. This is my perfect weather.
Okay. All right. I am now officially in the mid 70s, young 70s, maybe 72, 73. Here's why.
You're lowering the temperature.
Well, here's why. My grass had a few spots, and so I noticed since we had that break from the hot heat, little grass growth. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
See,
I
my
like
grass
that.
is dead. I'm good.
It's dead?
Yeah, it is brown. It is browner than brown.
Ain't no bro being brown.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
what else you got?
No issues. No issues.
All right. What you got going on the show today?
Well, Ichiro, as you heard in Heather's newscast, is officially in baseball's Hall of Fame, and there's some who think his speech is one for the books. We'll actually talk to Charlie Harger. He is one of the hosts of Seattle's Morning News, and he got a chance to witness it all. So he's going to join us coming up at 9:30.
Okay.
As always, we invite you to join us on our KIRO News Radio text line. It is open for you, 888-973-5476, 888-973 KIRO. And if you're watching the show from YouTube, we welcome you there as well. And you're going to have a little special treat because we're going to have some visuals for you today.
Mm-hmm. Make sure there's some positive visuals. Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Ursula's top stories of the day brought to you by Badfitter Northwest.
And we're going to start off on a positive note because it was a picture-perfect Seattle summer night and a long-awaited return to tradition. For the first time since the pandemic, the Seafair Torchlight Parade was back under the stars at nighttime. And for the first time ever, it took a brand new route, marching down the freshly redesigned Alaskan Way along the Seattle waterfront instead of 4th Avenue downtown. And people in the crowd told KOMO 4 News the waterfront was perfect for the parade.
The view couldn't be better because we're sitting so close.
It's better here because it's wide open. Up there, it's very claustrophobic.
Oh, I love it. I mean, this is it's perfect setting.
This waterfront is a real blessing for the city to have this now.
Oh, yeah, it is. And the celebration is far from over. The parade of ships will be sailing through Elliott Bay on Tuesday. Then on Friday, of course, the Blue Angels return to the skies over Lake Washington, headlining Seafair Weekend. Just a reminder that the practice flights are going to start on Thursday, but they arrive on Wednesday. So this is going to be a full week.
You like for me to give disclaimers and warnings before you get ready to listen to something that could trigger you.
Oh,
so,
okay.
For those that love to see Seattle fail or to say that Seattle is dying, you might not want to hear what I'm going to tell you.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, and forget about those that use their platform to tell everyone that Seattle is so terrible. Spent yesterday in Seattle, Ursula. Mm-hmm. That waterfront to die for. Your type of weather, the sun beaming. And I told Lillian, we were at Pike Place. And by the way, I've took my cousin Darrell down there so he can hang out at Pike Place. These are all places that he's wanted to see, right? He gets down there. I'm like, hey, he wants to go see where they throw the fish. And so what does he do? He gets up there. Not only does he get close to where they throw the fish, they're going to throw the fish to him.
Oh,
so
okay.
He's there.
Do we get to check out some of this?
On the YouTube channel,
Yes.
if you get a chance to see it, it's going to be on there. You can see them throwing the fish to my cousin. He had that opportunity. And I was telling Lillian, I told her, I said, if I didn't live here or didn't see what everybody likes to say about Seattle, I would think that this was one of the greatest places in the world, which, oh, by the way, guess what? It was so many people out and about. It was beautiful. My cousin getting ready on the YouTube. You can see him. But anyway, I just wanted to just tell you, Ursula, it was phenomenal. I mean, it was beautiful. It was packed. It was walkable in Pike Place.
If people knew the truth about Seattle and if they saw what we were able to experience this weekend, because I was downtown for part of it as well. And then I actually went to Emerald Downs. I love this video, though, by the way, of your cousin. I mean, it's just so quintessential Pike Place Market.
Yes.
And, you know, if you're at the market, I went to Emerald Downs on Saturday and watched horse races, which I don't do very often. But again, and my niece is visiting from Germany, and I told her, and we were looking because finally the clouds cleared enough so we could see Mount Rainier. And like everywhere you look, we live in this most beautiful area, and I think we just take it for granted.
Agree.
Absolutely.
And I found a sushi spot, a little small place. Yes, I think it's Urero or something like that, right there off of Pike Place and Stewart. Ducked off in there, had some sushi. Anyway,
okay. Was your car safe? How did you get downtown?
Oh, we parked in the garage right there.
Okay, and it was all good. All
it was
good when you came back.
All good.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. All right, can I just complain real quick?
Yeah, okay,
I gotta tell you,
I
gotta keep it real, y'all.
Yeah.
To park in that garage for 2 hours was $56
that's
in
the
that
part
garage.
they need
Come
to work on.
on now.
Yeah, that they need to work on.
I mean, come on, Seattle.
I guess for good things you need to pay. But from all accounts, moving the Torchlight Parade to the waterfront was an excellent move. And I know a lot of work went into that. So kudos to everyone who is involved. And I will say that for the first time, I mean, I actually wanted to watch it on TV. I wanted to, because I wanted to see like what it looked like. And I was envious of the people who had a chance to go there. So great job, everybody. Okay, something else new this morning. Washington's latest batch of laws have kicked in, and they come, as you know, with a hefty price tag. Lawmakers passed more than 330 new laws this year. Maybe you didn't know that. Most of them took effect yesterday. But behind the policy headlines is a much bigger story because, as we've been reporting, the state is staring down at a projected $16 billion budget shortfall over the next few years. And to fill in the gap, lawmakers approved $9 billion in new taxes. They also made $7 billion in spending cuts or delays. And among the changes taking effect, I want you to weigh in on these. Medical debt will no longer show up on your credit report, making it easier for many of you to rent apartments, get loans, or pass background checks.
Yes, this is fantastic.
Okay. How about special education services now extending to the age of 22, giving students with disabilities another year of support?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love it.
Okay. How about this one? Landlords can no longer charge fees for keeping a small emotional support animal like a cat or dog in a rental.
Nah, disagree.
Okay.
Nah, I don't know. They
Emotional support animal.
They can landlords can charge fees for a animal to be in their yard, in their home.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
I just feel like that's going to be abused.
Yep.
Okay, how about this one? Diaper changing tables are now required in both men's and women's restrooms in new or newly renovated public buildings.
And especially in any current buildings right now, if you do if over $15,000 of renovations, you're going to have to put that changing table in the bathroom. Yes, I like that.
Okay, how about this? You can now bring dogs onto restaurant patios more easily thanks to relaxed health department regulations.
I don't want to make people mad on a Monday, but no.
No. Wait, isn't it easy enough to bring your dogs to restaurants? I think it's just getting too easy.
No.
Okay, how about this? Cities can now designate more areas as outdoor beer gardens.
Like that.
Especially in preparation for the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
I like that.
Okay, you know what the thing I really didn't like, but it started actually July 1st?
What's that?
Gas taxes went up by 6 cents per gallon. Have you filled your tank lately? I actually was desperate because unfortunately I waited too long. Mm-hmm. I paid over $5 a gallon. Hello?
Look, here's the thing. I even said this yesterday too. I'm on my budget. I haven't bought any clothes or anything.
Good for you.
But what is getting me is like anytime you go outside, you know, the young kids say when you go outside, Ursula, it literally costs you.
Yes.
And depending on where you are, it might cost you $150, $200. It costs you money every time you walk out the door. Gas, coffee, water. They don't want you to go outside.
Okay, we're going to move on. Okay, our state is once again suing the Trump administration for pulling millions in federal funding that was supposed to help house and feed newly arrived immigrants. So this money was already approved by Congress, and we're talking about over $4 million through FEMA's Shelter and Services Program. It was awarded last fall to support asylum seekers in Tequila, where hundreds of people, many from Venezuela and Angola, have been showing up in recent years. We've been reporting on this.
Sure.
But before the state could even use a dime of that money, the Department of Homeland Security canceled that grant. Why? The Trump administration says the program does not match its current priorities. But the state says, yeah, not so much. That's not how it works. And in a federal lawsuit that was filed on Friday, Attorney General Nick Brown argues that the president cannot just ignore Congress and cancel money that it legally allocated. And the lawsuit says this move violates the Constitution and puts vulnerable families at even greater risk. And many of them are fleeing war or political violence. So without any additional help, Tequila, as we have told y'all, is already overwhelmed. People sleeping on church floors, in tents, in parking lots. And without that federal help, the state says the level of services is going to drop and the burden is going to fall even more on local communities and local nonprofits.
This is happening all over the state here. A lot of different counties are having and seeing where money has already been earmarked to be delivered here, and now it is being withheld. I just wish that we didn't allow politics to play games with money that is already, like, it's already been committed, Ursula, to come here. And now you're playing this game. Why are we doing this? It feels so petty. This isn't something that you had to make a decision on if you should. No, this money is already earmarked to come here.
Now, Mary's Place, which does a lot of work to deal with people who are unhoused. And then the Seattle King County Health Department, they had already been identified as recipients of this money. They say the money would have helped about 500 people every day with food, shelter, and medical care. And right now there's a big question as to, okay, now what?
Right.
So I think it's important for you to know, and what can you do? Again, contact your local congressional delegates and say, this is not what we believe in. I mean, that's the best you can do, because the only thing that can be done is that, in addition to these lawsuits, that Congress keeps fighting. So despite ICE's dramatic headlines about arresting murderers and rapists, the majority of people being detained in Washington right now have never been convicted of any crime. I know we've talked about this before, but actually I read something in Danny Westneat's column in the Seattle Times over the weekend. Got a lot of responses on that one. So the new federal data shows that nearly 70% of ICE arrests in our state just last month were of people with clean criminal records, and that is double the percentage from just a year ago. And one of the latest to be caught up is Fernando Rocha. He's that high school theater manager in Kirkland. Yep. No criminal record, a valid work permit. So he went through the process. He also has a pending asylum claim. Now, ICE says that he overstayed his visa and that he is wanted for theft in Brazil. But that is a charge that he flatly denies, and also no warrant has been found for it. So Danny Westneat points out that Trump advisor Stephen Miller reportedly told ICE to stop focusing on the criminals and start targeting all undocumented people. He was saying, go to the Home Depots, even those with legal standing, because the goal is to hit a quota of 3,000 per day. And while ICE says it is prioritizing criminal, illegal aliens, that's its own quote, its own detention numbers tell a different story. 84% of detainees are not considered any kind of public threat. Just 7% are ranked as level 1, which is the actual worst of the worst. So my question for you is, again, for all of you listening, and you, G, and I know your answer, is this what we want?
No, I don't.
And are we safer?
No. But, I find it interesting and curious as to just how specific ICE is. Again, they are continuing to go after our brown brothers and sisters here in this country. That's where they're going after. Now, Ursula, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for your top 5 stories of the day that you do every single day. I'm waiting for you to tell me about how there was an ICE raid on an employer for checking out the H-1B visas that have been overstayed. I'm waiting to hear about how ICE pulled up to Microsoft. I'm waiting to see how ICE pulled up to some of these big employers. Because when we are talking about green cards and H-1B visas and all those things, for some reason, they have doubled the amount of people that they have gone and locked up from this time this year to last year, and especially in the last month, the huge increase. But they're only going after the brown population, Ursula. Why is that? Why are they only going after them? I'll tell you why. Because there's a narrative that they still have to continue to try to shape within, and that is they try to tell you that they're murderers, they're rapists, they're killers, and all those things. if you're going to do it, let's do it all the way around. Let's go after everyone in this country and not pick on our brown brothers and sisters.
I mean, if you're talking about nearly 7 out of the 10 arrests involving people with no criminal record, you're essentially talking about a dragnet, not a targeted enforcement. And that does have negative consequences. I mean, former King County Sheriff John Urquhart mentioned that once you do that, you erode trust in law enforcement, you tear families apart, and you take away resources from tracking actual violent offenders, which is what we do want.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Ursula, I asked a question. I don't know if you were here. No, you weren't here last week. And I asked if there was a sports Mount Rushmore here in Seattle. I asked if Ichiro would be on it. Now, I tell you, I noticed going around the newsroom, I felt in my heart people were kind of like, it was like, you know how when you're younger, you have kids and you want to offer like, hey, do you guys want to buy these cookies for my child? When I was asking about Ichiro being on Mount Rushmore, I feel like people were forced to say yes.
I have an uncomfortable thought in my head about why I think Ichiro isn't as endearing, maybe, as some other players.
Okay.
And I worry about it. I worry about it, and I don't know if anyone would agree with me, but
well,
I'm just curious why you found that out. You didn't tell me about that.
People were hesitant. Well, there was a heartwarming speech from the newly inducted baseball legend, and we're going to hear from one audience member who was there for Ichiro's Hall of Fame speech. And Charlie Harger joins us next. Gee Ursula.
You listen to John Curley every afternoon. What does John listen to every morning?
Here's how I start my morning. Get my pot of coffee going, and then I turn on Seattle's Morning News. I listen to Charlie and Amanda. This is how I prep for my show, because I know those guys have, hundreds of years of experience, although Amanda looks better than Charlie. I'm going to get the straight news.
Experience matters. Seattle's Morning News, weekday mornings 6 to 9 on KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
With Clear Choice dental implants, one day can make the difference between hiding your smile and saying cheese.
Thanks to our dental implant experts, our one-day teeth transformation culminates in your Clear Choice Day, the day when you start loving your smile again. Visit clearchoice.com or call 888-SMILE-05 to schedule your free consultation today. And let us help Seattle start smiling again.
Majority qualify for same-day dental implants after doctor recommendation. Offices owned by Dr. Alfonso Pinheiro.
If you're traveling through the SCA airport this summer, use the new Security Checkpoint 1 at the south end of baggage claim. Just one of the many upgrade SCA projects taking your airport from now to wow. Stay up to date on all airport projects by following @FlySEA.
Hey, summer's heating up around Western Washington, and so is the schedule at Valentine Roofing. If you've been putting off any home exterior project, now is the time to act before the fall, wind, and rain expose a real problem. Get your roof, siding, or gutter project locked in before Labor Day to secure priority scheduling on select projects. Valentine priority scheduling means that they'll begin the work on your home within just 3 weeks of signing your agreement, and they'll coordinate with your schedule, so it's super convenient. Hey, it's Jake Skorheim here. When I needed work done on my roof, there was only one company I was going to call, Valentine Roofing. They were able to address the issue, fix it correctly, and even did a roof cleaning to extend the life of my roof, which now looks brand new. The communication was seamless, and so was scheduling the appointment. I needed it done fast, and they went the extra mile to make it happen. So whether it's your roof, siding, or gutters that need attention, call Valentine Roofing to get on their summer priority schedule. Spots are limited, so call 206 Roofing today to get all the details and schedule your free estimate.
Want to see the Seahawks take on the Raiders at the preseason home opener August 7th? KIRO News Radio is giving away 4 tickets. Just listen to Seattle's morning news all week from 6 to 9 for the daily code word. Then open the KIRO Radio News app, tap the Win tab, and enter. You can enter once a day from July 23rd through 28th to boost your chances. Full details at mynorthwest.com/win. We'll see you at the game.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning, I'm Heather Bosch. Seattle police are searching for a gunman after a shooting in the Northgate neighborhood this morning. Live to the scene and KIRO News Radio's Scott Carty. Scott?
Heather, we are here at the scene where the 48-year-old male victim was shot in the head and treated by officers before being transported to Harborview in critical condition. I spoke with Detective Brian Pritchard, and they say that there are now 2 suspects that they are looking for, that they fled on foot. They may have gotten into a vehicle. One of the suspects is wearing a gray hoodie and was wearing a mask, so they're actively searching for those people. Right now at the scene, you can see a backpack and a wallet on the ground, also what appears to be a broken lanyard with an Orca card tied to it, and the medical supplies of the responding officers. We're first on the scene to be live. Scott Carty, KIRO News Radio.
Thank you, Scott. A search is underway for 2 suspects who shot a Lummi Nation police officer during a traffic stop early this morning west of Bellingham. The Whatcom News is reporting the officer was sent to a hospital, his condition not known. President Donald Trump is in Scotland, where he is still getting dogged by questions about the Jeffrey Epstein files. There are growing calls for the government to release information on the investigation into the convicted sex trafficker. Trump's response?
If they had anything, I assume they would have released it. The whole thing is a hoax.
The president is in Scotland, where he's set to meet with the Prime Minister of Great Britain. Yesterday, he met with leaders of the European Union, announcing a new trade deal. CBS's Natalie Brand.
All of the countries will be opened up to trade with the United States at zero tariff.
President Trump said the tariff rate for most imported goods from the 27 EU member countries would be 15%, including autos. He also said the EU agreed to purchase U.S. military equipment, $750 billion of U.S. energy, and invest $600 billion in other sectors.
It will bring stability. It will bring predictability.
The breakthrough came with the White House's Friday tariff deadline quickly approaching and still no deals in place with other top trading partners, including Canada and Mexico.
A federal judge today ruled Medicaid funding has to be provided to Planned Parenthood clinics nationwide. The latest from CBS's Christopher Cruz.
The judge granted the organization, the nation's largest abortion provider, a permanent injunction. It blocks the federal government from cutting Medicaid payments to Planned Parenthood clinics for non-abortion related care.
The Trump administration is trying to withhold funding from Planned Parenthood, even for services such as birth control and cancer screenings. On Wall Street, the Dow is up about a point, NASDAQ ahead 58. From the Beacon Plumbing Traffic Desk, the B2 entrance at Northgate Transit Center is closed because of that shooting investigation we told you about a moment ago. The crash has been cleared from the I-90 bridge westbound. Travel time nearly back to normal. Bellevue to Seattle, 16 minutes. A reminder, 2 lanes are closed for construction on I-5 northbound near the Ship Canal Bridge. Express lanes remain open northbound. That is putting pressure on your southbound commute. Travel time still a bit longer than usual. Linwood to Seattle, 52 minutes. Alderwood to South Center, 70. Traffic brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. This weather update brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Sunshine today with highs around 80. It is 63 in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the Gee and Ursula Show. It was a huge weekend for baseball fans. On Sunday, former Seattle Mariners baseball legend Ichiro Suzuki became the first Japanese-born player to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. His speech was wonderful by all accounts. Here's just a little bit of it.
Today, I am feeling something I thought I would never know again. For the third time, I am a rookie. I hope I can uphold the values of the Hall of Fame. But please, I am 51 years old now. So easy on the hazing. People often measure me by my records. 3,000 hits, 10 gold gloves, 10 seasons of 200 hits. Not bad, huh? But the truth is, without baseball, you would say, this guy's such a damn.
Okay, well, our very own Charlie Harger was there at Cooperstown and had a chance to see all this happen, and he joins us live now on the Gee and Ursula Show. Hey, Charlie.
Good morning, Ursula. It was so cool to be there. I know I'm supposed to be a professional journalist, but man, I was out there as a fan, and it was electric. I had such a good time.
Okay, so describe the scene, and why are you there?
Well, okay, let's start with why I'm here. You might actually hear in the background, we have a bunch of cheering going on because there's a youth baseball tournament. My son Sam is playing. He's about to come to the plate, by the way. So this is a big tournament happening right now, 104 teams from all over the country. So we just happened to be here at this very same time the Hall of Fame induction ceremony was going on, and there was no way I would miss it. And as a lifelong Mariners fan, it was just incredible to see how many Mariners fans were there yesterday. You guys, I swear, easily 50% of the crowd there, and there were tens of thousands of people there, were there to see Ichiro. So many number 51s throughout the audience.
And his speech was the very last one. It was electric. If you have not heard that speech, you have got to check it out. I had zero expectations. I thought he would be using an interpreter, as he almost always does. The entire speech was delivered so well. It was funny, as you heard in parts there, but it was also really, really deep and meaningful, talking about the respect for the team first, and respect for the fans, and respect for yourself. Really a truly remarkable speech, and very worthy. And one other thing, okay, I'm getting really excited, I know, Ursula.
I love it.
We had not only Edgar Martinez there, he narrated the intro video for Ichiro, but you had Ken Griffey Jr. and Randy Johnson, other Mariners legends, right up on the dais with him. It was honestly something I will never forget.
Charlie, so I can hear it in your voice because you're there. Your whole reason you're there as a dad of one of your cool kids, my man Sam. You're there as a dad, but watching that Hall of Fame speech, did you kind of forget you were there as dad? And did the young little boy Charlie come out in you?
Yeah, I think you're right there, Gee. This town, if you've never been to Cooperstown, this is my very first time in this part of the country. Mm-hmm. It's remarkable. If you are a baseball fan, this is the mecca of where you want to be. It's not only a beautiful landscape, but everything is baseball related. Think Leavenworth, instead of all German stuff, it's all baseball stuff here everywhere. And so if you're a fan, you are really in for a treat, and that's definitely what we're in for right now. So many teams playing baseball. They're all having a good time and celebrating this sport.
Is Sam still up to bat?
He has not made it up yet. And I tell you, this is a bracket play, G. So this is a do or die today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nerve-wracking.
Ursula knows that one.
Oh, yeah, I do. And so we're going to let you get back to that. And then I want to bring up something to G, and we'll continue discussing Ichiro and what he means to this community and the team. But, Charlie, thank you so much. I can hear the enthusiasm, and good luck, Sam.
All right. Go elevate. Take care, guys.
See you later. Okay, so you were talking about Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
You had this conversation, and you kind of sounded like a lackluster response from people in our newsroom, even though people respect Ichiro.
They do. But whenever I do, and by the way, if you're listening right now, try this exercise. Go to your friends or family, or go in your text message. You got a text thread with some of your people, your friends in there, and ask them, who's on your Mount Rushmore for Seattle sports?
Yeah.
Right?
All Seattle sports, not just baseball. You're talking about all Seattle sports.
All Seattle sports.
I mean, everyone says Ken Griffey.
Most people say, they'll say Ken Griffey. Yeah, he'll get on there.
Yeah.
They'll say, I'll be honest with you. Most people don't put Sue Bird there, too, but Sue Bird is
That's
on
wrong.
mine.
Yeah.
I got Sue Bird, and you have to have Ichiro there. Like, you have to.
And so I was contemplating bringing this up, and the thing that I'm wondering if it's kind of hampered him and maybe put a ceiling to some degree is Charlie mentioned that he wasn't sure if he was going to say his speech in English or using an interpreter.
Right,
and he said it perfectly
in
and did
English,
it beautifully all in English.
Yeah.
And I feel like, and I don't think it was outright racism or anything like that. I think it was just a matter of he didn't, for the longest time, for many years, he didn't really speak to unless through an interpreter. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, you lose something in that interpretation. Mm-hmm. And I think that kind of, because if you look at his statistics, I mean, shouldn't he be on there?
Yes. Can we check in with Nick? Nick, are we wrong to put Ichiro on the Seattle sports?
No, he's on my Rushmore right now.
Okay.
I've got Griffey and Ichiro up there too. I would even throw Edgar in there, but that's 3 baseball players. I'm not sure. I'm biased towards baseball. I maybe would have all 4 in baseball players.
Oh, really? Who would be the 4th?
It might be Randy Johnson, just because G mentioned it. Greatest in terms of accomplishment, greatest players of all time, not just in this region. Randy Johnson, he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time.
Bobby in Tacoma goes Griffey, Ichiro, Peyton, Walter Jones.
Gary Payton. Yeah.
What
about football?
Mine is, you can only pick 4.
Yeah.
So mine is Griffey, Ichiro, Sue Bird, Walter Jones.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not going to weigh in. I haven't figured that out.
By the way,
yet.
Seattle sports. I'm not going coaches, everyone. It's just sports. I know someone put Don James there, so we're doing that. Okay. Hey, coming up next, are you reliant on AI? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Well, here's why you need to be careful, directly from OpenAI CEO. Next on Gee